The IL-2 series is an air combat simulator. Air combat in all its forms, from fighters to ground attack missions. IL-2 has always been famous for its incredible depth and attention to detail. The time has come to take a new step. Why Korea? The Korean War era is an incredibly interesting and undeservedly forgotten period of our history. It was a time of new horizons, new technologies, and capabilities that forever changed aerial combat. At the same time, these new technologies existed side by side with time-tested approaches and principles of air warfare. And so, our project is a new step for our simulator, largely defining its development for many years to come, while preserving everything that is most important, for which we love our series so much. The Korean conflict is a time when the art of dogfighting reached the limits of human capability.
When creating flight simulators, it is always very important to approach the choice of references thoroughly. We have always been very careful about recreating the objects we put in the game. In Korea, we went as far as recreating various manufacturing imperfections, for example on the gun sight reticle that the player looks through during the game. After all, a person does not look as closely at anything else as they do at this device. And attention to such details is an important part of developing any flight simulator.
The Korea map is the largest in the series, but we increased not only the size, but also the detail of every square meter of the environment. Our main challenge was that it is basically impossible to obtain photogrammetric data of maps from that era. And that was more than 50 years ago. So we had to recreate all these vast areas by hand. The appearance of these places has changed significantly since then. The coastline today is unrecognizable compared to what it was back then. In some places, entire new cities have sprung up right on the water.
And creating a larger, more detailed and historically accurate look is not the only feature of the map. It is also unique for the series from a visual standpoint. The mountainous terrain of Korea creates a new air combat experience. Compared to the flat expanses of the great battles, in Korea you enter a realm of mountains where flying offers an incredible experience. To create this entire world, a new renderer was built, allowing for more weather and atmospheric effects. And why stop at just effects? All materials in the project now work in a physically correct way, which in turn required new artistic approaches from us.
The aircraft are now true works of art. They combine a vast amount of historical data, new technological solutions, and most importantly, the work of the best artists who bring these machines to life in all their splendor. Just look at these beautiful machines, these cockpits that you just want to step into. We started by creating models from reference and blueprints, and when we finally sat in the cockpits of these planes, the feeling was exactly the same.
One of the most important components of the Korean conflict is jet aircraft. This was the time when this type of aviation fully demonstrated its air superiority. A new era created new challenges for us regarding the aerodynamic model. We implemented new effects that influence aircraft behavior, increased the detail of the forces being processed, and the accuracy of their reproduction in the project. We compared all the new improvements and changes against both countless historical records and the behavior of actual flying aircraft.
In a flight simulator, it is not just aerodynamics that matter, but also things like the damage system, which we have significantly improved in Korea. Accordingly, the player can now damage individual components: the engine, linkages, various wires, flight controls, hydraulic systems, electrical systems, and so on. This applies not only to aircraft, but also, for example, to ground vehicles. Now, vehicles can not only be destroyed, but they can also be flipped over or thrown aside by an explosion, which adds a lot of atmosphere to the gameplay. These improvements would be incomplete if we hadn't also addressed the effects system. The entire new damage system would not look or feel as good without the new effects and their technologies. Now the system supports animated particles, and new effects for hits, smoke, fire, and explosions have been created. Tracers now look incredibly realistic. The smoke trail from them now twists naturally, making it easy to mistake game footage for real gun camera footage.
Also, in Korea, we introduced the use of modern animation technologies. We have now fully implemented motion capture pipelines, which is a rarity in flight simulators. Pilots, personnel, military crews, and city residents, they all move naturally and realistically. You can even communicate using gestures.
The interface was built from scratch. we set ourselves the goal of not just making the flight and combat feel better, but also wrapping it in engaging gameplay. And the old interface approaches simply did not allow us to do that. Now, the interface is incredibly responsive, has convenient settings windows, and the project includes a whole new museum mode where you can find all the information you need to learn how to fly. Yes, IL-2 is not an arcade game where your very first flight will be successful without the proper knowledge. But now, you don't need to look for this knowledge anywhere else on the internet. Everything you need to learn how to fly is right here in the simulator.
Beyond the ease of learning and the intuitive interface, we have also added and significantly improved the pilot career mode, where you can be not just an ordinary pilot, but also a squadron commander. A commander who assigns subordinates to missions, awards them medals, and also manages the supply and logistics of their regiment. We have also improved the accessibility of our simulator, where you can fly the aircraft not only with complex devices like joysticks, pedals, and so on, but also with a gamepad, which now fully supports the gameplay and allows you to quickly access all aircraft systems and commands via a quick menu.
We have also reworked the sound system. Now, shots, hits, and engine explosions all sound incredibly realistic and immerse you even deeper into the gameplay. Sounds, just like in real life, do not travel instantly and differ depending on the direction. Besides reworking the sounds, we also created a unique musical score that highlights the era and the entire character of the conflict, which makes it so unique.
All our efforts would be in vain if we did not verify everything we do with those who have real experience piloting aircraft. Many of us fly periodically ourselves and know what it is like to feel the air, to feel how it affects the controls, and how one's own body behaves under G-force. But that is not enough. We do not just need piloting experience, we need the experience of those who actually flew the very aircraft we are recreating.
The game's developers, well, maybe it's not even a game. I see it more as a kind of training tool and flight simulator, right? Well, they are very clearly designed and refined. That is good, it is pleasant, because, I repeat, I felt it. And while landing in the simulator, I followed the procedure strictly, just as I am used to in real flight. And I succeeded on the first try. What is pleasant about flying the MiG-15 is that, for example, when performing a barrel roll, it is an indescribable feeling. It is pure pleasure. And on the trainer, on the simulator, performing this barrel roll, I noticed that the aircraft really rotates exactly as it does in reality. I really like the landing approach. You can practice it directly, just like in training, so to speak.
And all of this, all the effort we put into this project is just a new beginning. The Korean conflict was filled with many more fascinating technical assets that we have yet to implement. Stay tuned for updates. See you in the skies over Korea, and good hunting.